Hi, and welcome to the I Ramble podcast. We're an entrepreneur-centric podcast, guiding you with some tried and true strategies from people that have taken their ideas from mental creation to reality. Now they're trying to make it easier for you to succeed in your endeavors. So sit back and listen to these entrepreneurs, builders, and designers share the step-by-step formulation of their business. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for new episodes. Enjoy!
All right, what the business is, and you already know that's not rhetorical. That's a real question. What the business is, and today the business is banking. See, oftentimes as an entrepreneur, you start your business, you start your brand, you start all these different things, and don't understand the benefits of knowing how to bank, how to save, how to properly plan for the future. So I reached out to this lady to see if she can give us some guidance in how to do that. So, we ain't gonna do her no disservice. We're gonna let her introduce herself. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. What's your name? Who are you?
Well, my name is Robbie Pemberton. I am the branch manager of the Cadence Bank in Camp Creek Marketplace.
Okay.
We're right here in the Target Plaza next to Party City.
See, even better. When you bank, you party. After you bank, when you bank in a proper manner, then you party. So it's all prioritizing. So what's your history with business? Before we get into banking, just what's your background in business, building, education, all these different things before we get into banking, Robbie?
Okay. Well, I've been in the banking industry since 2005. Decided that I wanted to be of assistance to those in the terms of financial wellness, literacy, and advocacy. So I started out my journey at SunTrust.
Okay.
Started out as an actual banker,
okay,
a personal banker there, and worked my way up.
Okay.
I have had additional journeys while I was going through my financial journey as well. I took some time off and I got my cosmetology license because it was always a passion of mine. So being a business owner and being someone that acquired a skill that led me to an entrepreneurial pursuit gave me even more information and more determination to help those persons as far as the banking industry side of it.
Okay.
So once again, I started with SunTrust, worked my way through the ranks there, then took some time off, decided I wanted to be a cosmetologist.
Okay.
And I did that for 5 years.
Okay.
I worked in the salon and had clients not only in the salon, and I serviced clients at my home as well.
Okay.
To be able to save more money and be more financially savvy.
Did you want to start your own salon in terms of, I know you were trying to save money in terms of doing it at the house and things like that, which is oftentimes the gradual step in entrepreneurship, because you want to cut the overhead until you can manage the overhead.
Yep.
So did you want to go to the salon route
After I left the salon itself and set it up in my home, I began to see where the beauty industry was going at that time.
Okay.
That was during the time where everything started to change as far as with the interest rates, with the homes, and everybody was going through the recession with all of the homes being foreclosed on.
Okay.
So when that started to happen, the first thing that people start to cut back on are those
needs.
Exactly. So you have those things at the nails and the hair and those types of things, then you're going to cut out because those aren't necessities. Mm-hmm. So I started seeing that and understanding it. I realized that it was time for me then to go back into the banking industry. And I decided to go back into the banking industry. I still have my license and I still do things on the side from time to time, from my daughter to some girlfriends. Yeah. But when I got back into the banking industry, after coming from having my cosmetology license, I realized that that the banking industry was where I was going to retire.
Okay.
And I got back into it as if I never left and literally started to help persons. And I came back into the industry and started working for PNC.
Okay.
When they came into the Georgia market.
So it was SunTrust at first was your intro, then you came back after cosmetology into PNC.
Yep.
And then you came to Cadence after?
I did a little short stint at Cadence Bank.
Okay. I had a Regions account.
Okay, which is wonderful. Wonderful.
Friendly people.
Yes, wonderful institution. And then that landed me here to where I am currently with Cadence Bank.
Okay, and I know we spoke on that briefly when we spoke last time, that you went over there and they ended up recruiting you, and then you ended up just transitioning from there. Did you always know you wanted to be a manager of the bank, start a bank, as tough as that might be? Or you just knew that just helping entrepreneurs or people in banking was more your passion?
Definitely. To answer your first question, I knew that ultimately I would need to be in management and that I had to have a leadership role.
Okay.
Because you have to work from within.
Okay.
And starting as a banker in the banking industry is where you get to learn. So now it's what they call being cross-trained.
Okay.
So there's nothing in the bank that I cannot do.
Okay.
There are a lot of persons that may be in banking and back in the old days, and I guess saying that's kind of funny. Well, back in the day, a lot of bank managers were not fully versed in the bank itself.
Was it because they came from another industry as a manager per se, or they didn't grow up in banking to know that, okay, you worked as a teller and then transition up the rung to knowing how to do the cross-training that you speak of?
I think it's what a lot of what you said. They may have come in maybe from college or something with a degree and you became a manager, or even sometimes you have some older persons that have been in the industry for some time, but let's just say they may have started with a position like maybe they were a banker, but they never had to do anything. And then as soon, maybe were a banker for a year or so, and then they immediately got promoted through the ranks. So maybe they got an opportunity to open up accounts and kind of do a couple of lines of credit and some mortgages, but they didn't get a chance to literally learn how to do all the positions. So for me, I think it's so important to be able to sit in those positions and to know, of course, from a managerial standpoint, you have to develop, train, and lead those persons. And a lot of people will say, well, I don't have to know how to do it. I believe that's just the opposite. You should make it a point to know how to do it, because that's how you become connected to your team.
And be efficient at your job, because should in case someone call out, should in case someone is sick, the bank ain't shut down now because you're sitting there trying to figure out how to do this, that,
Hallelujah.
and the third.
Yes.
So those things are just good not common sense, but just good business practice in the banking industry.
That is correct.
Right?
That is correct.
Okay, so let's get into it. What is banking?
What is banking?
Yeah.
That is an excellent question. And I think when you say the word bank or banking, it brings up the first thing would be money. So banking is going to have everything to do with money. Your money personally, your money in reference to business, and how that money is being serviced, and how you're allowing that money to service you.
Okay. Well, speak on that too, Robbie, please, because that, to me, that's fantastic that you said that, because that might go unnoticed to the person who don't know what that means. But how does your money get serviced? How do you service money, which is really grow, right?
Yes.
So how do money get properly serviced, and how do you check on the servicing of your money?
So when I make the comment that your money is being serviced, and how is it being serviced, and how are you utilizing the money as a result of that servicing. We understand that your money has to be somewhere. You're going to work a job, you're going to get paid. Now, there are a lot of ways to process that payment from your job. And the most popular way is going to be the bank. But because we live in the society that we live in now, you have other things or other entities that can process that payment for you. Like you got pay cards, and you have other institutions or other housing places for money. You got a lot of names for them, but the most that I think of comes to mind would be your pay cards, aside from your banks, because you do have people that have banking accounts and have the ability to have banking accounts, and then you have a large portion of people that are unbanked.
Okay.
Those unbanked persons are going to be seeking other ways to process their payments, like a pay card or some other type of place that will allow them to have their direct deposit or their payment from their job going on.
Okay.
The servicing of that is making sure that entity, whether it's a pay card or whether it's a financial institution, is setting you up for optimum success when it comes to that money.
Okay.
Receiving that money is nothing. That's what it's designed to do. So the bank is going to house your money. The pay card is going to house your money.
Right. That's just basic.
But what is that entity doing to assist you in creating more than what they receive?
Right, because your mattress could do that too. If you're in a safe house, safe wherever, it's the same thing under your mattress. It's not doing anything. But in a bank, what can you give me percentage a year, or 1% or whatever growth a year? But what are my other options and avenues for you to help me grow this money that I'm putting in your bank? And then why is your bank more important than the bank down the street?
What are you doing? You meaning the bank, the financial institution, the pay card company, because everybody has a role and everybody has an obligation to service you. Just holding the money is not good enough. Just saying, oh, I put my money over here at such and such bank, or my money goes on such and such card, that's not good enough. That goes without saying.
Right.
So now what are they going to do to help you grow that money and not be in a situation to where you're paying the money because you're running through it within the time frame of this paycheck to the next paycheck.
Okay. So
when we talk about servicing, it's exactly what the definition of servicing means. It's not a trick. I'm not using a word to change the meaning of the word, because servicing is just that. When you think about service, think about Chick-fil-A, my pleasure. Think about Publix and how those commercials that you see on TV just changes your whole attitude on grocery shopping. Think about 9 times out of 10 when you go into a Publix, it's like nothing you've ever been into, and it could be a random Tuesday afternoon, or you going in to pick up a deli sandwich, whatever it is. It's just different there.
Is it the above and beyond?
It's the above and the beyond, but guess what? It's the basic. It's the minimum. If I have my money in a financial institution or a pay card, because the pay card company has to set up certain parameters to be able to receive money, give you a card for you to swipe and utilize to take care of your daily expenses. So if that's what they're doing, then guess what? Above and beyond is wonderful. I want that. But the least at the very bare minimum, you're supposed to help me, teach me, coach me, counsel me, and give me a roadmap on how I can bring more money into your institution. Because it benefits you for me to know exactly what I need to do to become the top tier client at your institution.
So when that's one of the things I love what you said last time we spoke, and you said that when did that disconnect stop, and then when did banking feel like that wasn't a necessity? Because that's self-advertising without advertising. So it would be just good business for you to do that anyway. Because, just opening an account with you, now I'm introducing someone else to come open an account. So when did that banking disconnect happen where your banker wasn't your friend even, right?
Honestly, the world has changed as we know it. We talk about it. It was long before the pandemic.
Okay.
It's a numbers game. We're so detached from connection. Everything is instant. We're sending text messages versus having conversations. We don't check voicemail because we don't have time to listen to the message.
Why don't we do that? I don't want to take a chance on you asking me a favor, or because it's just like a text. It's just a read. I just got to read it as opposed to hear it.
Yeah, but once again, this is the world that we live in. So with that being said, we keep pushing ourselves further and further away from one another.
Okay.
And as that happens, then guess what? Nobody knows their banker anymore. Nobody goes into the bank anymore. And when something has to happen, or if they have had any kind of interaction with the bank at any point, the people are changing so much to now they've just given up hope.
Okay.
So the banking industry has been hit just like all the other industries where people are, getting burnt out, they're leaving. And now to think about the workforce that we have to pull from.
Okay.
So there was a time you walk into the bank, everybody was dressed professionally. The women had on suits. The men had on suits and ties. And whoever you sat with could talk to you from start to finish about whatever it was that you came to inquire about. Now, that's not the case. You're lucky if they say hello to you when you come in. And Lord forbid if you ask a question, because I don't know. We don't do that anymore. Everything's about a policy or a procedure that they can't seem to fathom why you're asking a simple question and you get nothing done, you get nothing accomplished, and nobody cares.
So are they not concerned about me having the ability to take my business to the next bank? Is it a policy that's not being taught and adhered to? Is it, what would you say that is, and what's the difference between that and what you guys do?
They don't care because when you leave, someone else is coming behind you.
Okay, I get that part. Mm-hmm.
So it's of no consequence. And even if the numbers get larger with the people leaving versus the people coming, they just chalk it all up. And guess what? They get to claim it as a loss on their taxes. And then they're not paying for it. So now that, they get that deducted and they move on into the next fiscal year with a positive. So this is big business. So then they say, you know what? Oh, well, so we'll just cut the workforce and, have 2 people in the branch and, nobody wants to open up an account. We're not going to pay the people anything. They're not going to get any more incentive. And, we're going to fee all of our clients to death. And the people that are here, they're going to take care of all of our big, houses and boats and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to ride it out for as long as we can.
But is that good business practice? Because that's what you're in business to do, is to not necessarily, I know, I get it. At the end of the day, it's profit. But at the end, but you still want to conduct good, proper business. So it behooves you not to try to lose your clients by not having good customer service. So isn't that counterproductive?
Most definitely. But here we are.
Okay.
And the reason why I came from a larger institution and ended up at Cadence, who nobody knows about. When I say the name, they're like, who, what, when, where, and why. Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? Oh my God. It's because you got the feeling that you receive sometimes at some of the larger institutions is just what I described.
Correct.
I wasn't able to make a difference. I could not advocate for my clients the way that I needed to. And when I say advocate, I'm not saying I'm trying to get somebody qualified for a loan with a 200 credit score.
This customer service.
We're talking about people that are legitimately able to secure the products that they're seeking, but I have no ability to be able to say, hey, this is a good deal. Let's move with this. And we're going to bring in this client and that client. So it just got to a point where my hands were tied, and I decided that I didn't want to operate that way because I wasn't being the best advocate and best person, a banker for the clients that I was working with. So I decided, you know what? I need to be somewhere where I know I can help the people that I need to help.
Is that few and far between, or was a lot of your coworkers sharing that same frustration?
Most definitely. And it's funny that you asked that question. I was speaking to a coworker today that I worked with at a previous institution, and I left that institution. She's still there. And she was just having a conversation with me today about, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Because it was and it is the rat race. Mm. It's the hamster wheel. Mm. And, you know, we always believe that we're going to be able to do it differently. And we're going to be able to change. Now, don't get me wrong. We can do some ripples of change and make some differences, because I was able to do those things.
And did it stick? Any of them? Or?
Yes. Okay. And I have customers that I still interact with that I met at previous institutions that literally say, Robbie, I really appreciate it. I'm good. I've been doing all the things that we set up to do, and everything has been going well. So yes, but being able to do more for more people, and do more within the community, and not just the African American community, but most definitely the African American community, but being able to make a difference for those persons that need it the most.
And then when you say that now, is it because it's a lack of knowledge, awareness, why the African American community don't bank or go to check cashing places and things like that? Because that's something I wanted to get into later. Was it that you messed yourself up with the check system and then lost your, drive to make that right or better? So now you had a check cashing place paying, $15, $20, $50 to someone who didn't do any work with you. So,
yes, and yes. We have the unfortunate, what is the best way to successfully articulate how we've gotten to where we are when it comes to our inability to bank and stay in good standing with a bank? Now, we understand things happen. And guess what? It has happened to all of us. And when I say all of us, I mean me. Mm-hmm. Having been in the banking industry as long as I have, having had various jobs. It happens. Nobody is beyond things happening and life happening. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about when you had to get a refrigerator and it just happened to fall on the week that your paycheck was coming in and you got the refrigerator, so you were short $20, $30 when your car note came through. We're not talking about that. We're talking about that you're willingly and knowingly doing things and making and transactions are happening, and you know the end result. Now, that becomes a problem because now you overhear Bank A and they say, hey, you forgot to pay, or, you had something come through, we had to send it back. Okay, no problem. So the first time, maybe you won't get a fee. Or if you do get a fee, you'll call and we'll reverse it, no problem. And guess what? Even if it happens again, I get it, because you had something else coming through again. We got you. Because I understand. And I think most places, even if you don't know anybody, they'll give you one or two, not a problem. Because we get it. Mm-hmm. But now here we are, 4 or 5 down the road. And even if you don't have a fee attached to it, oh, so-and-so charged too much. I was over there at the Bank of America and I was at Wells Fargo and they did this and they did that. Well, okay, let's take the fees off the table. We're gonna not charge you no fee for nothing that comes through that you don't have enough money to pay. Okay, let me ask you this one question. Why are you still swiping your card? So who are you upset with?
That's just good common sense right there, because at this point now, I'm not charging you no fee, but in time when you swipe the card, put those numbers through to buy this, that, and the third, there was no funds there. There weren't no funds going to be there. So is it I don't want to say a maturity thing, because I think
it's a mentality thing.
Okay.
And let me say this, it's nobody remembers not one word I have said this entire time we talk. I want you guys to pause, get a pen, get a paper, and write this down. Debits before credits. What does that mean? Because I have had over 1,000 people in my lifetime ask me why. Well, I had some money coming in and my paycheck hit and my so-and-so sister sent me some money, whatever the case may be. Why y'all took the so-and-so out first? Because debits come before credits. With that being said, you got to be in front of it. So if you got $100, don't swipe your card if something is coming out like an automatic payment, because the debit is going to come out before your other money comes in. And even if we don't charge you a fee, somebody's payment is going to be rejected. And now you got to call the car payment place, the car insurance people, and it's just too much extra. We got to do better. Our mentality about money has to change, and our mindset about money has to change. And that's all in your personality and what you were raised, how you were raised, and your exposure and experience with money based on your parents and your parents' parents. We gotta go all the way back, because what you saw, you 9 times out of 10 are repeating. Whether it be you got the phone bill in Poo-Poo name, you got the light bill in Shanae name, you got the cell phone bill in Lil Baby name. I mean, that's what we saw. So now you got to take all of that and all of these grown people and try to
unlearn practices,
re-educate, because the miseducation of the Negro is real.
I think the miseducation of people, good practice, business practice. We just got so much bad habits that it's hard to undo those things unless, like you said, it's your behavior to want to learn to undo it and do it properly, so that now when your kids are seeing you conduct business, now they're adhering to good business practice because you willingly unlearn all of those things that you saw growing up with the bills and this person name, that person name, and not being just a responsible adult to conduct proper business. That's one of my favorite things. When you're done with the ATM, you see that handshake. You just conducted proper business. So you need to let that overlap in all that you do, and then it just becomes a proper mindset that you pass on. Yes. So undoing all those things are hard because they're habitual at some point, but you still need to make an active attempt to undo or unlearn or unpractice those things, because it's going to keep you in that rinse and repeat cycle.
Rinse and repeat. That is so correct. I'm so passionate about it. You see, my voice, was elevated, and I'm just like, oh my God, because I see it. This is where you see it. Mm-hmm. When someone comes in and you have to close the door, you have to close the blinds, because I had an office that had blinds at in one of my positions, and you just literally have to say, okay, there's nothing else I can do for you. I've done all I can do. I've refunded everything I can refund. I've sat with you, and we've worked on, make sure you stop this from coming out. Don't go to Chick-fil-A this day. If you spend $50 at the grocery store and take your lunch for this month, I guarantee you're going to have an additional, $150 left for the month. So I've done all of that. So now you're in my office and your account is negative in upwards of $1,000+ and your paycheck is coming in, and your paycheck is going to get eaten up by the fees and all of the payments that have been returned, and you don't have any money. You don't have any gas.
You're basically working against yourself at that point.
Kids don't have any food. So now we got to figure out how we're going to get your kids some food, and how we're going to get you some gas to get to work, because this paycheck
is already spent.
It's gone.
And that's that rinse and repeat cycle. That's why I reached out to you, because a part of what we do, I want to say 90% of what we do, is trying to give entrepreneurs, new people, some proper business etiquette. This is how you get out of that rinse and repeat cycle that you find yourself in. And if you don't adhere to these tried and true strategies, you're going to be back there again, where you're trying to get some help, but you're doing the same thing over and over again. So how are you helping yourself, and how are you asking me to help you when you just keep doing the same cycle of rinse and repeat? That, like I said, I heard you. You closed the blinds. I done talked to you. I done gave you these step-by-steps. This is what you do. Stop spending what you don't have.
I mean, we're going down the list.
We're going down the checklist.
I see. You have a bank account. I'm pulling up your transactions. I can see everything that you're doing. You done went to the nail shop. You done went to Chick-fil-A. You done went to Starbucks. All of these things. And we're having conversations. I get it. I don't think you should not go to Chick-fil-A ever. And I don't think you should walk around with raggedy nails and nappy hair. I'm not advocating for that. But exactly at what cost do you have to have those? Do you have to have it every week? Do you have to have it every 2 weeks? Does your hair appointment have to have $300 attached to it? Are there other ways that you can get things done that doesn't require you to spend more than what you have available?
I learned one of the things. I work in the building field doing electrical work, and one of the things I had to adhere back to was cooking and bringing my lunch to work, because I found myself spending $15 on lunch, and then you're doing that 5 times a week. That's a grocery list. Just buy your food, cook your food at home, and then bring your lunch to work and save yourself some money there. So I had to find all different kind of strategies to just make sure I re-implement, because I had stopped for a while, but then it was taken away from other things that I was needing to do, because I'm spending $150 in a week's time on lunch, when that's a whole grocery list, and I could have just cooked and then brought my lunch, warmed it up at wherever. They have microwaves at the job site. They got them at the gas station. And then here I am, not spending $18 on something that's going to last me maybe 4 hours, if so. So I had to get out of that aspect, found different ways to tighten up. So, you have to be willingly wanting to do that. You can give the guidance, but the person got to actively implement it.
And that is so true. But here's the thing. For the person or the people that I speak with and that maybe don't get it, straight away, or maybe they do have to come back a time or two, or maybe they just have to be released, because there are persons that their relationship with the bank discontinued. And we had to, wave bye-bye to each other. But for as many of those persons that there were so many more people that really got it and started working it and started literally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what makes me continue to do what I do. Even though I'm going to get fussed at, I get cursed out for different things, because finances is not a sexy subject when you don't have no money. It's only sexy when you got money. If you don't have no money, ain't nothing sexy about talking about coming to the bank, going to the bank, direct deposit. Ain't nothing sexy about being broke. So know this, those conversations aren't being had with excitement. However, when they understand that it's not nearly as difficult as they perceive it to be, and we start talking about some very basic ways to be able to make a difference. Case in point, this is how I start, especially women off. Because I know a lot of times when we like to get things, we like to shop and we go places, they had a sale at so-and-so and such, or even with men with tennis shoes or whatever it is, everybody has a vice. But I always say things like, okay, so if you go to Macy's and Macy's has a sale and they got a Michael Kors purse that's on sale 35% off, it's marked down, the purse is normally $375. But oh my God, girl, I got this purse for $125. Okay, great. Cause you didn't spend it $375. But how about this? If you got the purse for $125 and the purse was $375, why don't you put the difference in your savings account? Because you should have been willing, or you should have had enough money to pay for the purse at $375. That's the objective. I never buy anything that I don't have more than twice the amount for. At this point in my life, it's 3 or 4 times the amount before I pay for anything that's considered a big ticket item. But at any rate, if it's $375 for the purse, your mind should be set on, I would have paid $375. I got $375, more than $375. So if I got it for $125, the difference should be in a savings account.
And once again, that's one of the reasons why we reached out to you, to just give some proper business practice. It's for who it's for. They say some plant the seed, some water the seed, but God get the glory. So if you can hear all this great information and you're not at the point to implement it, then you'll hear it again, and now you start to implement it, because this is what you should do. You don't spend what you don't have. You have $100 in the bank. Why are you still trying to do debits when you already got an auto pay about to be deducted from your account, and now the charge going to be reversed and the fees included in that? And now you're mad with the bank or the institution or what have you because of these fees. Then that's just not good business practice. You know what I mean? So we try to gear this towards some like I said, to the new, the already existing, but you need to be ready to implement. So we can't force you to implement.
Nope.
You lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink that water.
And even taking something in a different respect from the concept of putting some money to the side. So I made the analogy with the purse because, you know, with women, we like to do different things. But let's just take it away from that and just say you're getting paid. So whatever you're getting paid, whether you're working a job or whether you're an entrepreneur, when you're getting paid from those clients, when you're getting paid from your job, I'll also discuss with a lot of my clients, take $50, take $75 or $100, take it out from your paycheck or whatever you have the ability to set to the side. Take that out as cash. Take that out as cash. And that's it. That's your cash. So you have your incidental money. I want to get a candy bar. I want to go and get a soda, or I want to stop at the McDonald's or whatever. So that's your cash. So now those debits and things that are coming through your account is not going to throw your account out of whack because you've taken cash out and you're not swiping your debit card for $2. You're not swiping your debit card for $5.75 at, you know, the big bag meal at Wendy's. So now you have that cash, and when that cash is up, hopefully it's closer to your paycheck again. But if it's not, then guess what? You got to sit and allow the transactions that should be coming through your account to come through your account to be paid, and then you can be okay with whatever's left, even if it's not nothing, because your bills are paid.
Yeah, I had to catch myself with that before because as much as I try to give these tried and true advice, we aren't perfect. And I fall victim to a couple of those before because one, I have too many cards and trying to consolidate. So I'll have an auto pay here, and there. And then when a bill come due, I got to make sure, because they'll send me the text or what have you. Make sure that you have enough in this account to cover this. And I got to go make sure, okay, oh man, I did auto pay. I did do a payment arrangement for the 16th. Yeah. And I need to make sure that $85 is in there because it affects two things. Return fees, all of these other things that I now got to call and say, oh man, how many return fees do I have? They don't want to hear that no more. Well, sir, we gave you 3 return fees already. What you want us to do now? You know, so it's just adhering to these principles and implementing them because it makes just sense. It just makes good business sense.
It makes great business sense. But guess what? Rome was not built in a day.
Right.
And one thing I pride myself in being is patient and willing to work with those that want to work.
That's fantastic.
Iyanla Vanzant says it. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. You got to do your work. And I'm here. I'll be right here in the trenches with you because this is what I do. This is my job, and it's beneficial to me and you for you to get it. Regardless of whether you bank with me at Cadence Bank or not. It's beneficial to me for you to get it because when you get it, the culture gets it. And we continue to add to buying the block and being the block and being the producers and not always the consumers, being the owners and not always, you know, the participants, the clients and the people coming in. We can be the lenders and not the borrowers. So I'm going to keep being here. I'm going to keep helping until God sends me to the next assignment. He has not sent me any information that I'm going to be leaving anytime soon because I haven't finished doing near enough of what he wants me to do.
I heard the other day say, I'm still here because I'm not finished. So that's just kind of the principle, you know, when he feel I'm finished or when he feel it's time to do whatever the next part of the journey is, then he'll put you over there to go finish that part of the journey up.
You're so correct. And I am an entrepreneur myself. I have many entrepreneur friends. I come to this bank every day my 9-to-5 job that everybody that's, out in the entrepreneurial space, I don't know how you go to work. I can't work for nobody. I gotta own my
Get
time.
it too. I don't understand it.
Now, let me say this, and I don't know, it's just how we do. Why does it have to be one or the other? Why is one perceived better than the next? But let me just put this out there for everyone in the whole podcast world. I am here so you can be there.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
How about that?
Because I get up every day and do what I do and trade my time because y'all need me. Y'all need me. Y'all need people like me to help you, to assist you, and to help walk you through being an entrepreneur, making money, keeping money, growing money, expanding your businesses. You need us in these spaces, in these places to assist you. So the next time you walk into an establishment and you see somebody working and you out living your best life because you got your time, which, hey, I'm all for it. But let's just say, hey, what's up? Big up.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I'm grateful. We appreciate you because all of us need each other. If everybody's an entrepreneur, who's going to be the employees?
Yeah, and then we're all in a machine, not just that proverbial machine people talk about, but we're all cogs in what we're doing.
Yeah.
So if we're all out here, like you say, living our best lives, who helped maintain this living of the best life? You're buying this, that, and the third, but somebody needs to be there to provide or sell you that. And maybe that's what their job, their entrepreneur, that's,
And everything works together for the good of everybody.
Right.
Of everybody. So it's not one is better or worse than the other. They're all necessary to create the world in which we live in today.
Mm-hmm.
I love what I do, and I will do it even after I leave the actual banking industry 9-to-5 job that I'm on currently, because this is what I have been called to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is just my springboard and where I start and where I create the connections and my viability and my legitimacy by being someone that's been in the industry as long as I have, doing what I've done. However, this ain't over. So yeah, I'm here for everybody, especially those persons that's wanting to own their own time and their own businesses, because I'm the person, and other persons like myself. I have a lot of colleagues that I work with in other financial institutions, and we do the exact same thing. We want to help people and give them the correct information. This ain't what Junebug said while he trying to sell you credit repair. He's selling you shoes. He's also selling you insurance. He giving you vacations. What else Junebug doing? He got jewelry. He doing all of these things. He doing your taxes. I mean, Junebug got a myriad of jobs. But guess what?
They not tried and true.
They not tried and true. And he has not been officially signed off on.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I reach out to these different people, you included, is because a lot of time we get these old information. My cousin said, yo, you need to just do this. Like, oh, you're not even a banker. You're not a lawyer. You're not an accountant. You're telling me things you heard from 4 people down the road. So we reach out to different people such as yourself to be given tried and true guidance to say, listen, just adhere to these principles, have some discipline, stick to it. You may messed it up overnight, but the fix may be, 4 or 5 months down the road, but it's okay. Just adhere to these principles, apply them, be patient, and you'll see the benefits of doing that. So that's just one of the great things that we appreciate you giving us the time to talk about. So let's talk about starting up an account. How does one, what do you need?
Okay. Well, basic information, name, address, social. Please give us yours, because if you give us someone else's, we're going to know. We don't accept CPN numbers for you personally. We understand that during the pandemic, those were hot and heavy. So, and we understand everybody got to hustle, but don't hustle over here. Keep that over there, because over here we want to do it right, because we want you to have what you have forever, not for just the next couple of years. So name, address, social, phone number, just your basic information as far as your identity. And all we do is put that in the system. And then the system lets us know how you've played in the sandbox with others. And what that means is, do you have any outstanding balances or any outstanding relationships? Like you got a bad breakup with Bank of America? You ran out on SunTrust or Truist now. Yeah, we just want to make sure that, you have good references.
Mm-hmm. And you're willing to now play correctly. So go mend those fences, or this is how you mend the fences, or this is how you fix it, because it's now showing me, are you now ready to conduct proper business?
And we do have the ability to assist you in that. We do have second chance accounts and second chance opportunities for those persons, that we're getting ready to roll those out. Because guess what? It happens. But we want to, and me especially, I want to work with persons and say, you know what? We see the long laundry list of what happened, but are you positive and are you sure? They tell you in church, are you positive? Are you sure? Mm-hmm. All hearts and minds are clear. One for the Father, one for the Son, one for the Holy Ghost. And I'm going to sit you in the chair and say, hey, are you ready? Are you ready?
It goes back to plant the seed, water the seed, God get the glory. So what level, where are you at with it? Are you just still hearing it, but not ready to apply it? Because we're trying to deal with the people who was ready to apply it. It happens to the best of us. We get it. We understand.
Let's move.
But let's move forward and let's see if you are that serious. But don't play. Let's just be mature adults about what we're doing, conduct proper business, and then teach the next one how to do the same.
Right. And let's come up and let's get past this point, because you may have started here, but you don't have to end here. And you don't have to be here forever. If you got a second chance account, then that should be your springboard. You have that for 6 months to a year. Of course, the institutions are going to see that you've done well, and then they're going to take you to the next level.
Are there limitations with the second chance account?
Most definitely. Understandably so.
Because
you got to get
we're working. It's like to me in my brain, the difference between a debit card and a credit card. Or what they call those, secured or unsecured. Yeah. You need to put some money in this bank to show us that you can,
And we're going to help you, because we're going to give you a debit card, but the debit card is not going to be eligible for you to overdraft it. You're not going to be able to, you know what? I'm going to get this and I'm going to put the money in that tomorrow. No, you won't. Mm-hmm. Not with this one. You got a curfew with this one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You done stayed out too long, and now we got to bring you on home. So, you can't stay out past 9 o'clock with this account.
And that's your fault. We're trying to help you get back to good standing where you can stay out all night and party and don't have to do what you got to do.
For now, you got to go to bed.
And, that's just the recycle, the recession. We starting you back at scratch. Watch the episode of Martin like that. They start you back at scratch. And like I said, it's not necessarily, it's your fault. Let's just say that. You did overdraft the card, you did all of whatever that was, and now you're trying to be mature and you're trying to rebuild and get on a proper adult path. But here's how it goes. We can't just give you all of this right now because in the past, you showed that when we gave you the VIP, you just abused it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
your
just,
best life is
exactly.
on our dime.
And now we're trying to make you spend your dime to rebuild to show that we can now give you credit, and now you're credit worthy in the long run now, because we've seen that you actually paid on time.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't incur no late fees, you overdraft, you know, all these different things. So that, you know, a lot of what we do really and truly, Robbie, is I think it's to catch them while they brain spongy.
Yeah.
Because once you reach a certain age, they're just so stuck in their rinse and repeat cycle that we just do the same over and over. So it's to show the young ones, you know, you working at the McDonald's, Wendy's, whatever these are some business practice. This is how you build your credit. This is how you maintain your credit. This is how you open a bank account. This is how you maintain a bank account. So that now when you go apply for anything, you don't got to cross your fingers.
And it's a zoom, 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 zoom. Ding, 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 ding. You're approved. You're approved. You're approved. You're approved. You know, we put your information in the system, and then and when we hit submit, it'll come back, you know, open up any checking account.
Whatever. No, that's what we need you to stay at in a consistent manner. And whether you're ready for it is really up to you. You got to decide those things, you know.
You do.
So is there any different requirements for opening a business account as opposed to a personal account, or what's your advice, or what's your...
Well, with the business account, you have to have registered Secretary of State if you're LLC or a corporation. If you're doing business as DBA, then that, for example, Robbie Pemberton doing business as Pemberton Cookies, then I would come in and open that account up with my Social Security number, because that's not anything that I haven't set anything up with the Secretary of State. I'm just starting out trying to, get my feet wet. And there are a lot of persons that have DBAs, and that's how you would start that. And you would be able to receive, the information as far as, your clients would be able to send money to you, whether it be DBA Pemberton's Cookies or Robbie Pemberton or anything of that nature. So if it's a doing business as, that's going to be your Social Security number. Okay. If you have a business, a LLC or corporation, that's going to be an employer identification number.
Okay.
So those are the very simple steps that you would need to open up a business account. Very simple steps to open up a personal account. And then that starts your journey. For me, when I work with persons and my employees and the persons that work with me, when we set people up for the journey and the relationship. So today it's the checking account. Tomorrow it's, hey, are you interested in getting credit cards, lines of credit? Do you have a home? Are you interested in getting everything set up for your mortgage? We have mortgage professionals. When you start making a little bit more money, you get that big promotion, we have wealth advisors. You have insurance and annuities. I'm licensed in life insurance and annuities. I don't practice it, but we will refer you to those persons. We have the ability to get you set up from start to finish. You have a business, we have merchant services. Stop using Square. We have the ability, when you have employees, we have payroll services. All of that we have within the banking institution, and it should be a one-stop shop. So when you pick up the phone and call Robbie or Sarah or Derek or David, then you should be able to have that one person or that one entity be able to service you. Not that you don't have other relationships, but you need to make sure that the relationship that you have, that they're working for you. We got to sing for our supper. Make us do that. We're supposed to give you whatever it is you need, and whatever you can't receive, our job is to make sure you can. Let's do it.
No, that's good stuff. It's fantastic, Robbie. We're not gonna stop with this. We gonna keep building on this because you're giving us such great information, Robbie. Is there any? I know this is a new branch.
Yes.
Is you put in so much hard work and your due diligence and
Yes.
getting it ready for opening and offering great information to your new customers and existing ones from other Cadence branches and things like that, right? So did you want to speak on that? Did you want to, just promote the bank any?
Yes. I will say this to everyone that is listening. We are here in the Camp Creek area. We're right next to Party City in the Target Plaza. We are Cadence Bank. It's not a bank that you guys have heard about, but I guarantee you it's the bank that you need to know. It's the bank that you need to come in and and start a relationship with, because this is nothing like you've ever experienced before, and it's banking the way that it should be, and it's banking the way that you need it to be. If anything that I've said to you tonight, you're hearing for the first time, I have a problem with that, because you've had a bank for a very long time, and most of the people that are listening are probably over 20. So you've probably had a bank in upwards of 15 plus years. And if anything I've said to you is something that you've never heard in the course of banking anywhere, talking to any banker and passing anybody that you've dealt with in the bank, then that's a very sad set of circumstances. And you deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve Cadence.
Oh my goodness, that's a commercial line right there. We need to give a snippet of that and put it on some TV channel somewhere, because that was just so well spelled out. And Cadence should be proud that they have somebody such as yourself that's so passionate about banking and that deliver it in such a proper way. And it's well received by us, and we so appreciate you letting us ramble with you, Robbie.
Thank you.
And we hope this is you can continue to give us some financial guidance with this, because you are passionate about it, because you're an entrepreneur yourself, and you understand that, banking guidance is very necessary. Mm-hmm. And if your bank is not providing the service that she just spoke about, you need to go talk with her at Cadence Bank, because she's going to guide you from A to infinity.
And listen to this. It is not about taking anybody away from anything. I just spoke with a client of mine, actually someone that I work with. She's a caterer, and she's been working with an institution, and I had her cater a lunch for my staff at my other location.
Okay.
And her food is great, amazing. And I just told her, I said, do you have a business credit card? You buying stuff all the time. You're a caterer. She's like, no, I don't. So I talked to her today, and I was telling her, I said, well, let me say this. You've been doing business with your institution for some time. You're very profitable. They see the money coming in and out. Go to them first. Mm. I can counsel you, because I am a consultant, to help you make your bank dance and sing for their supper in reference to your business. Mm-hmm. Now, if they don't do right by you and do for you what they need to do based on the fact that you're their client, then it's open season, and I'm coming for what belongs to me. And I said to her, go there first, let them know what you need to have this conversation with them, and they should be able to get you a business credit card. You're going to get one over there, and then you're going to get one over here, because she's opening up an account with me, and I'm going to make sure she gets a business credit card with Cadence. But I told her to start there first.
And those are, like I said, we're not going to stop here anyway. We're going to keep building. But I just love the fact that you do things and say things like that, because one of my number one questions and thoughts that I had for you when I reached out to you was like, why is there such a disconnect between your banker being almost your friend? Especially as an entrepreneur, as a builder, as someone who's opening an account. You should be getting such good guidance from them, where you can walk in the branch, schedule a meeting, what have you, sit down and say, look, these are my future plans. This is what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm unaware. I don't know. How can you guide me? And they just sit down with you and just point you everywhere you need to go to be successful, because it's just good business practice that they're going to benefit from anyway.
Period. And that's what I do. Just like I said, I spoke with the client. I sent her back to her institution first, because here's the thing. We want to get it from everywhere. We want to get it how we live. We want SunTrust, Truist, Bank of America, Chase, Delta, Navy, wherever it can be achieved, that's what you want. So I have colleagues in all these spaces and places. They send me people, I send them people. Okay, you know what? We can't do this over here, but call so-and-so there. Hold on, let me see. You need an accountant? Okay, let me get you on the phone with so-and-so. You need somebody to do a mortgage or refi? Okay, we don't do that. Let me call my girl over here at such and such mortgage company. You need somebody to help you reestablish your credit, get yourself together. I'm going to help you read your credit report. We're going to do this. Okay, but this is what we're going to do. We're not going to do this little, magic trick where we get it erased and disappeared if it's not legitimate. We're not playing those games over here. No disrespect to none of those persons that's working those businesses. But let's be clear. One thing about banking, I know when you done had your credit clean, because we can see it. You're not fooling anybody, because you can't be 50 years old and have a credit file that's 3 years old.
Yeah, that's like I said, I like us to just conduct proper business. So now we're playing games with the bank and acting like the bank ain't banking.
Oh, y'all didn't want to give me no loan. I got an 875 credit score. Since when? Since 3 months ago, when you paid somebody to clean your credit. Now, don't get me wrong. The hustle is on and it's real. I'm not knocking anybody from getting paid and working and, being an entrepreneur. That's not what I'm saying, but let's be very clear here. That's a certain realm of a situation. So when you come over here, yeah, that's a different game. In that game, those rules don't apply over here. I'm just saying. So if you're going to play that game, which is totally okay to play, hey, I done been to many a housewarming from somebody that then got their credit clean and then got a house and then took the biggest gift ever, because I'm excited. So let's be very clear. I'm excited, I'm ecstatic, and I'm supporting anybody that's bettering themselves and their family. But that's a different game.
And that's what we all about with iRamble. We're going to give you tried and true practice in order how to conduct proper business. We understand all of those things because we hear them. I had a whole bunch of advice from people about this, that, and the third. Listen, man, we're grown. Let's conduct proper business. And that's the only kind of advice we're going to give you, is to point you in the right direction in order to conduct proper business. Are you ready to do that? If not, God bless you. Yeah.
We're not against anybody or anything, but that's just a different game. I'm not a participant in that game. I don't know all the rules of that game, but I do know
how to conduct proper business.
That game don't work over here. You can't put the Miss Pac-Man on the Galaga. Mm. You can't. It's not the same. It's not the same breakdown. Mm. It's a whole different game. There's no cross-referencing in those two. They're different.
Chess and checkers.
Very good. So that's all I'm saying. So over here, it has to be played the way that it has to be played. And it's tried and true. This one thing I know. Mm-hmm. Regardless of whether you're excited about the bank or not, the banks have been around. You seen the little Wells Fargo?
Yep, I watch old movies. Westerns, and you see the stagecoach.
The stagecoach, that was Wells Fargo.
Yeah, uh-huh. Oh, well, I didn't know.
But I'm just saying, saying that name, but that was the banking industry. Mm. That was the bank. Mm-hmm. So they've been doing this for a long time, good, bad, happy, or sad. I'm just saying. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of things that need to be revamping. And that's why you have persons like myself that participate from within the structure to help those persons that need to be able to get these things. The money is there. You ain't got to go around searching for people to fund you and all this stuff. It's at the bank. And I'm going to show you how to get it from the bank legitimately for as long as you need and as much as you need, as often as you need. So guess what? Cadence Bank, Robbie Pemberton, I am here to serve you because that's what I do.
Nothing could be said better, Robbie. You wrapped it up perfectly. You put the bow on it. It was Christmas and it was red. And it was fantastic. And like I said, thank you so much for allowing us to ramble with you. And we're so appreciative, love the great guidance that you gave. And I'm just hoping that the ones that hear it, that are ready to apply it, will see the actual benefit from it, because that's what it was done for. And like I said, we're gonna do future talks, because I like you to just keep updating us on things. This one was so formal because we were trying to lay down a template for how we're gonna guide, and so I didn't want to. I wanted you to be able to just speak so frankly, but I want to see if we can do a wrap up. So what have you that you can just, snippets or...
Yeah, we got some stuff coming down the pipe.
Exactly. You're saying you're changing around in October.
Yeah.
You're going to have some updates coming.
Oh, yes.
Some revamping, some more what have you?
Change the whole game. When I tell you people are going to be lined up, it's phenomenal what we're going to be able to accomplish for those persons that's willing to make a change and a difference. We're here in the community, for the community. I'm a part of this community. Did I add that? No, I'm here. I don't drive here to quote unquote say I'm here to help everybody, and then I get in my car and I drive back way out to somewhere where I'm, around other people. No, I stay right off Cascade. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I come to this Target. I come out here to Camp Creek. I go to the TJ Maxx, the Ross, the Marshalls, all of this up here, the beach. This my hood. Mm. So, yeah, I'm here. You'll see me at the store, at the Party City, at all that.
Hey, Robbie.
Hey, how you doing? So that makes a difference. For me, that makes a difference because I'm vested. I have skin in the game. So, yeah, when I come through here and I see trash on the ground, now I'm picking it up because that means something to me, because this is my neighborhood. I don't want to see this development, destitute and empty in the next few years. And it's going to take us to keep it going, thriving, and keep this area being built up. And people like, oh my God, it's so nice over there, or whatever. That's how we want it to be. And that's how we need to make sure that it is.
Each one teach one, build and keep it moving. Thank you so much, Robbie.
Thank you. Please do not hesitate to stop in, if nothing else, but to say hello. We have a beautiful branch. I made sure they spared no expense because we deserve exactly what anyone deserves in any other side of town. Come get you some nice cold water. We have coffee. We have tea. We have syrups. We have all types of goodies for you coming into the bank to make you feel warm, welcome, and comfortable. So please stop in and say hello to me and my team.
And they will. Thank you so much again, Robbie, for letting us ramble with you.
Thank you.
It's been our pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to today's Ramble. Please like, share, and subscribe for new episodes of the iRamble podcast. Also, check out iRamble.com for more guest content.